What's going on, guys? This is Wyatt, the host of Shop Talk Sessions, and today we talk with Blake Smith, otherwise known at BAS Renovations on Instagram. So you guys can go check him out and check his page out. Go ahead, follow him and everything. Shop Talk Sessions, this is now, I believe, the 7th episode. It is starting to gain some traction, getting some more viewers and everything like that, and we will be evolving as more and more people come on. So please subscribe, watch the whole thing. And if you think you have a cool enough story or, a cool enough trajectory into the trades that you would like to talk about it, or you run a pretty cool business in the trades, something to do with the trades, and you want to have an interview, reach out to me. I'm trying to get more and more people. We want to hear all stories across all backgrounds and everything here on Shop Talk Sessions. Okay, this is for the younger generation. This is for the people coming into this 5, 10, 20 years from now, to hear from you guys, how you guys got here, what your story was, and keep them motivated, okay? So as everything grows too, we will be, as you guys know, if you've been following, your house is ugly and your contractor sucks bumper stickers. These are coming on for sale right now. You just have to message me and I'll give you the Venmo info and all that stuff, and you can Venmo me and I will send it out to you. I probably will start sending these out to podcast guests, and also, of course, my clients are getting these now, the ones that I think will be able to handle the joke. But pretty much that's what's going to be happening. So as things evolve and everything, we get bigger, going to have probably a site just for these bumper stickers. I just made another one, at work framing and bed nailing. That one will be dropping soon, but hopefully we'll be having some merch come out and everything like that, and you guys can support the show that way. But that's pretty much what's going on. Check out this interview. Blake was a good one. We had some technical difficulties during this because my daughter unplugged the Wi-Fi router. Don't know what was up with her today, but she was in a mood. But anyways, we got through it. We did a nice interview, and it was good to see good to hear his story. So check it out. Well, thanks for coming on, dude. Awesome. So I got put onto you by Ohio Carpenter. After every interview, I asked them, who they think should come on the show or whatever, and he mentioned you. So that's why I reached out. So pretty much start with who you are, where you're from, what exactly you do, and then we'll go on from there.
Yeah, I'm Blake Smith, but probably a lot of people don't even know that. But I live in downriver, so it's in Michigan, kind of like just south of Detroit.
Okay.
And then we do a lot of residential construction stuff. I have some guys that work for me, and we do a lot of residential projects, interior, exterior. Some of my older stuff on Facebook and Instagram have some pictures, but haven't really got into any huge things. We're working on this basement right now, so once that'll be done, there'll be some more pictures of some of our work and stuff.
So are you just a GC and you do pretty much everything, or do you have something that you specifically try to target? You have a lot of jobs out in your area doing the same thing, or is it all general?
I mean, we do a lot of kitchens, bathrooms. I started with doing bathrooms. I guess I'm the GC, but I'm doing most of the work, like a lot of guys, I'm sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't hiring exactly people out. We hire out the normal subs, the HVAC, plumbing, electrical stuff. But I work, and I got guys that work with me, and we kind of just all do our thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, we do a lot of basements. We're kind of getting away from bathrooms, kitchens, decks. We do some garages, but it really just kind of with what comes. I mean, there's a lot of people that do construction in this area, so not to say that there's a lack of work, but it's just all over the place. It's kind of hard to just get in one niche, I feel like, unless you're spending a bunch of money on advertising, which, I'm sure you kind of have an idea on.
Gotcha. Understood. Okay. So how does the story of Blake start in the trades? Did you have an exposure early on young, or was this something that came later on in life? What was your early life like? And did you grow up in this same area that you work now, or did you grow up somewhere else in the country?
No, I've always lived here. My dad's been a flooring installer since I was young, but we built our cabin up north and stuff like that. My grandpa did work, and a lot of our family members are in kind of the construction, at least a couple of our family members are into construction and stuff. But really more introductions just when I was younger, building the cabin with my dad. And then, working with him. And I kind of listen to some of your stuff, and when you're in that environment, it just kind of it feels natural. You learn quick. It doesn't feel so difficult. Even the little things you grow up with, you're just kind of used to it. My dad owns his own business, so there's a lot of those same things that you kind of run into.
Okay, so you've had somewhat of a foundation like going into this and everything.
Yeah, 100%. Like definitely privileged in that aspect. A lot of people I know don't have so much background with it and stuff, but definitely come from like a good place for all that.
So you're kind of like me, like yeah, like you said, you listen to what yeah, I came from a construction family. I took easy to it. Again, there's two kids that come from a construction family, and one that like take the knowledge and then work hard and expand on it, and then ones that pretty much fuck up their dad's business or something. That's pretty much
Yeah,
the two
know a
stories that I've
couple.
heard. But yeah, I do have to say it does help like kind of growing up into it and everything. So what did you start out? So I assume you started out installing floors with your dad then.
Yeah, 100%. Kind of like I guess at least after graduating, work wise, I worked on in a steel plant for a little bit, and
Okay.
that was I mean I worked hard and it was what it was, but it's a tough, rough job.
If you don't
And
mind going into that, because again, that's not something a lot of people do. What was that experience like? And then like, what was the everyday? And then any
oh, it was
stories you've got.
yeah, it's the 12-hour swing shift, so it's like you'd work 12, 12, 12 on a day, and then 3 nights for 12s, and it's a coke battery, so you work on top of this coke battery. They put coal in the ovens and stuff like that, and then it's like almost 200 degrees the whole time you're working. Respirator, full clothing, and stuff. So honestly, all the stuff we do now is like pretty easy. The heat doesn't bother me, stuff like that. So it was like good
Yeah.
for tolerances, but I mean it beats some people up. But you're younger, doing that sort of stuff, stayed in good shape. Once I started doing this, I'm not as good shape as I was, then. But you know how it goes.
So what did you actually have to like physically do at the plant? Like you said, you're all covered up. Are you like moving?
It's fire, like coal. Like you open these lids up, and it's all the coal goes in these lids, and then it gets
Okay.
hot, and it cooks into coke is the name of it, and then that's like 1200,
So
thirteen
you're
hundred
pretty much
degrees.
just supplying the battery,
Yeah,
which I
I mean
assume is the
huge.
furnace.
Yeah, these huge machines as big as a house, loading it up with coal and then dropping
Yeah.
it in the stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was kind of my first job. Like first, I guess you call it big boy job, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was great for learning lessons and stuff like that. I mean, stuff I'd say I kind of get into nowadays where, just working long and pushing hard. It is.
Now, where you work doing steel, is that still open to this day? Or is
Yeah,
that
it is.
okay? All right. So it's still
Yeah.
running and everything.
Yeah. They're definitely running into like they get a lot of emission stuff and whatnot. It's kind of like an eyesore place, but it's important. So it's still running.
No, 100%. Yeah, that industry is important. We need to keep it around. Yeah, 100%. So after that, where'd you go from there?
Um, After that, I went to school. So I started working with my dad again because I kind of worked with him right when I got out of school. Then started that job, and then I was like, I'm gonna go be a welder because they needed welders. I asked the guy there. I was like, hey, can I get on like an apprenticeship thing? He said no. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna quit because I'm not. I'm just one of those guys. I'm not doing what people tell me. Like, I'm not gonna wait for your schedule. But
And you
yeah.
don't
So I
want to
went
be
to
stuck.
school.
You don't want to be stuck in one
Yeah, dude.
position. Yeah.
I mean, guys there that are working for you know, forever, the same stories every day, and it's just like, oh man, like got to hear this again. Which
Yeah.
that's most people,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but just depends on what type of person you are. Some people love that, but yeah. So I did that, and then started working with my dad again when I went to school, and then got my degree. Well, got one credit short of my degree for my welding degree, and they canceled the program through the school. So then I was like out of luck. So I did like 2 years for nothing. Not
For
that I was
nothing.
gonna do. I mean, not that I was gonna do that. And like, dude, you'd go to weld school, and um, you would come out like, oh, I'm a welder, right? You get to do stuff and learn, but you don't like you're not like some sweet welder by the time you leave. Like any schooling you do, you know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, unfortunately, and that's kind of what I've been telling a lot of people too. I see this big influx because everybody's pushing the trade schools and everything like that because college was somewhat of a bust for a lot of people. It was pushed so hard.
for
But
sure.
I see the same problem. Like, just because you go to a trade school and stuff, dude, most of these guys who come out of trade school actually don't get jobs like in their field. It's just like college with the degrees. A lot of people get this degree and they don't even get a career in the degree that they did.
Oh, really?
So, oh yeah, 100%. You know how many kids I have listened to or guys my age I've listened to that have gone to welding school that have never welded a day in their life after, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
It's
I'm one.
yeah, just because you do it doesn't mean you're going to end up doing it. And the majority of people end up not doing it. And so there's this big push to trade school, but I actually don't think it's going to necessarily help us in any way because it's how many people can we actually retain. Once you are a welder, once you like, especially most guys in welding that's outside of kind of California and probably your area, dude, most of those guys are doing pipelines, right? Like
Yeah, good
when
portion.
you're on a welding pipeline crew, your life is kind of fucking hell. And that's the real test if they're going to last, not if they
Yeah.
went through trade school. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure.
that's where I kind of like see possibly a problem in the future. Is like a
I
lot of
worked
people just spending this money to go to trade school and not having to pay off for it, you know?
Yeah, I worked for this lady that was like one of the top for the Labor Bureau of Statistics, and she said that like the age every year just goes up another year for the like construction workers. So I think it's at like 59 or six. This was a couple years ago too, but it's like
Yeah.
way up there where she's like they have no idea how they're going to replace all these people in the field. And honestly, like from hiring and stuff, I mean, I'm sure you know or you're subbing stuff out, but it's hard to find someone that you
Bro, it's
find the
hard
guy
to
that
find subs, and subs know that they are in demand too. So it's not
yeah
even worth using subs because they're charging more than what you're charging. And like for me, dude, I'm stacked literally 4 years until 2028. And I have a huge backlog on work. If any clients
oh, good
watch
for
this,
you.
as they know, they're probably waiting for me to come to their project. But the thing is they kind of are stuck in a position, not that I want them to be, but they've realized too, who else is going to do it?
Yeah,
Everybody is booked like me. Everybody, and if somebody does come over and gets it done faster than me, they're going to be at 3 times the price because they know you will pay that premium for the speed.
yeah.
And
Yeah, your
that's
stuff's awesome too. Honestly, I was looking. I was like, oh man, I didn't realize you're doing that. I mean, like cool design and everything like that. How do you get the windows? Like, what's with the doors and windows?
bro, that the windows are installed. I don't know if I have another video coming out of the shed we just built. So I have a contract with a prefab company in Colorado, and it comes on a pallet on a truck, right? So it comes all panelized. So it comes in panels, and the windows are installed for me, dude. I don't even have to install windows. It's installed in the
Yeah,
factory, and so I just
awesome.
drop these wall panels and yeah, dude, we did a 10 by 10. So from foundation, like it got delivered the first day. We had the walls and the roof framing and the roof all done in one day. And then the second day we got all the siding done. So 2 days, 100 square feet. It's fully done.
That's awesome,
And
man.
yeah, so but yeah, they make me look like a superstar, dude. It's that prefab panelized system. It really is, dude,
I
because
know you. I listened to your guys' talking the other day. And I'm like, man, like that's a great idea. And you,
bro,
I
I
mean,
did 25 of those last year with a crew of two, and then I have a subcontractor that also has a crew of two. So pretty much 6 guys built 25 backyard structures last year.
is
Uh,
it footings or you just go straight on slab or?
Straight on slab. Sometimes these projects are very complicated, like they're on hills and stuff. Like, dude, I have one in Nevada right now, and that one has like one side of the foundation wall is 8 feet tall. So I have an 8 foot retaining wall on one side that's like part of the foundation. And then like I had one in Belmont. We had this huge deck that went over this hill. I mean, it was probably like 10 feet at the tallest. Um, Again, California is very hilly. It's very mountainous, kind of, unless you're in the valley. So everything we're building on is usually on grade,
Yeah, for sure.
you know.
That's cool. Yeah, I know that seems wild. Like especially looking at some of your stuff, but yeah, no, that's awesome.
But yeah, and then so let's see, you went from the steel, you went and worked for your dad for a bit, and then where were you off to after welding
Oh,
school?
once that was done, I pretty much worked with him long enough. I started doing floors through a company for a little bit, and we still pick up some work for them when they need it. We do like all their hardwoods, um, which they don't, they don't sell a ton of them. So it's around here. It's just a kind of a certain area and a certain person that gets hardwood flooring. A lot of people just kind of stick with the vinyls and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I started doing that in bathrooms, kind of in between doing the floor jobs, and then the and then I just kind of went from there. I mean, everyone wanted me to do their stuff, and then I was working by myself, which is, if anyone's starting, it's tough. It's not
Oh
something you
yeah.
just get into and just like, oh yeah, this isn't bad. It's like you got to learn how to work. If you don't know how to work hard already, you're already in a bad spot. But you got to work hard. You got to know how to deal with people, keep track of all your stuff, and then you obviously know the constraints of customer stuff, which happens to be, at least in my opinion, the hardest part of all of it. So
Yeah, it's keeping customers happy. They want you on their projects all the time. Yeah, it's tough. You are running a business, but and it's tough, dude. Some of these clients, man, we could become pretty good friends with.
yeah, for sure.
And then after a while, I kind of got to stop doing work for them because the relationship's too close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense, I kind of keep a distance a little bit because I've had
I
things
mean,
go
you're in and
south.
out. Yeah, well, I mean, I think anyone has at least to some aspect, but like you're pretty in and
Well,
out on your stuff, right?
no, 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 dude. These people call me back for everything after. Like that's the thing is these sheds make us look so good. One person I did last June, we did their studio shed, and then I just finished up their bathroom probably a few months ago. But they probably are the last bathroom I'll ever do, bro.
Is it
Two
the was it
full,
the backsplash, the white backsplash tile?
yeah, dude. Two
Yeah, I
full
just saw it,
walls
dude.
of
I'm like,
tile,
oh,
bro. Two
yeah, what,
full walls of tile,
6 days or so?
penny tile on the fucking floor. $3,500 fucking Toto toilet,
Oh yeah,
fucking crazy shit.
you guys doing
And
bidets out there?
what'd you say?
Are the bidets big out
Bro,
there?
yeah, dude, full on bidet, heated seat,
Yeah,
like,
it's a new thing, dude.
yeah, it knows if you're pissing or shitting. It knows like everything, dude. It's fucking insane. It knows if you're drunk and throwing up. Like, it's like,
Spray you right in the face.
dude,
Imagine
honestly,
that
that
one.
toilet is insane. It like got annoying after a while because it opens up every time you come into the bathroom. So like I was doing touch up stuff and everything. We were finishing up little stuff, and so every time I went into that bathroom, it just like doo doo doo, and then like the seat comes up and everything. It's just like, but yeah, that thing is pretty fancy. And then yeah, that shower we took out, and there was no waterproofing. They just tiled the old people who own the house. They just tiled straight to drywall, no waterproofing, nothing. So yeah, we took all that out, had to dry it out. But yeah, so that's
Yeah,
pretty much the last thing they had to do in their house. It's pretty, and I installed a mini split in the studio shed I did for them, but I also installed a mini split in the house too. And that's what I mean, dude. Is these clients once you do one thing for them and you knock it out of the
something
park,
good.
they
Yeah.
just keep calling you back. You know?
Dude, honestly, it's crazy about the showers too. I think my last one I did was like my 52nd one I've done for showers. And
Wow.
yeah, I know, honestly, like, I hope it's maybe the last one. Hopefully, no one that wants a bathroom hears this. But the one we did a while back was it had water piled in the corners and stuff like that. I'm like, oh man, like this is gonna be bad, right? We rip it up. It's just backerboard on the ground, right? Get this, no damage. It's been there for
Really?
10 plus years. It was my buddy's house. Yeah. So he had this backerboard on the ground tiled and it was just all caulked on the edges. And he used a squeegee to get the water to go down the drain. And I was like, dude, this is going to be like an absolute mess. We ripped it up. I think maybe one of the corners was a little dark, like on the plywood.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I mean, you hear all this stuff and then it's like, we go to such a level now. Cause like, honestly, when I started doing them like 10 years ago, I was screeding showers and stuff, and that's why I was
That's
worried.
how
Like,
I
oh,
started.
water, yeah,
Yeah.
and which is also, if anyone does that, it's a workout. And I will say, even like starting the social media thing, one of my bigger things was uh, like that's why I started is because I saw what's his name the shorter haired guy that does the tile work. He's like one of the bigger names on YouTube.
Oh, he's in my area,
Okay.
I think. He's like
Yeah,
bald,
yeah.
isn't he?
What is it? Well, I can't believe I can't remember his
Dude,
name.
okay, I'm gonna talk some shit here though. Okay, I'm gonna say something. He always seems to have videos talking about the showers that he put in failed.
For
Dude,
sure,
I
dude.
swear to God, bro, I go to his YouTube channel and there's more like, oh yeah, our tile failed.
Failed,
I
yeah.
watched one on this
At
big
least he's got
commercial
balls
job. It
about
was
it.
like a grocery store. This was a few years ago, and like all of it failed. And shit. I'm like, dude, who do you have fucking working for you, man? You know what I
Dude,
mean?
I couldn't sub it. I kind of went the route and was subbing out some bathroom stuff, and it's like there's just too much, man. Like so many eyes on the bathroom. Like when you sit on the toilet, you're just staring at everything, and it's like between how many people see it, the waterproofing. Now, if you have to get permits, you have to get a plumber. Like, I mean, the list goes on, but it's like there's so many eyes on a bathroom, and honestly, it's what everyone starts at. So the money is just like most of the time not enough, and that's the hard part. I
Yeah.
tell like I'm gonna get started. It's like you can do bathrooms, you can do good, but it's like you're working and you're working for that money too. It's not
No,
like
and
just
that's
a handout.
why I do these sheds, man. They're high money. When I found them, when I figured out who they were and stuff, I had this like pit in my stomach, and I was like, I have to fucking do this. And like once I started doing those, I was like, dude, compared to doing bathrooms, kitchens, doing I did a lot of work in San Francisco. Working in San Francisco is the biggest pain in the ass. No parking, very little access.
Oh,
Like
dude,
it's crazy
terrible
stuff,
job.
right?
Yeah,
And so like these things, I'm like, dude, this is like fucking money. And yeah, it's getting away from the starting, which like you said, is bathrooms and kitchens, man. Everybody starts doing those.
yeah. And it's the one you can have a couple people do. I mean, we moved into like full basements, so we'll end up doing a bathroom, a kitchen down there.
Yeah.
Like we do a lot of those, and we did those for a couple years. And now we're doing like some garages. We do a lot of decks. Like it really jumps around, but definitely doing a lot more outdoor stuff. And then it's the stuff that's hireable. Like some of those smaller jobs, just it's hard to get people to help you. And then it's like you're sitting there. It's like you're doing every single aspect of the job, and depending on the kind of guys you got working for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. I mean, that's the thing is it's tough to find guys, and especially with the bathrooms and the kitchens and everything. Everybody on site, even though they don't have to do every trade, they kind of got to know every trade, man, because it's such a tight, confined space. If this electrician's running stuff where the guy's going to be mounting the cabinets or something, or like a plumber, or he's like in the way of for plumbing pitch and stuff, like, dude, people start getting angry at each other and stuff. And then, yeah, you're like, why don't I just do this myself?
yeah.
And then also, I don't know, just nobody thinks of the trade ahead. And it's tough, man. And like young guys are hard to train, I think, and old guys kind of suck to work with too.
Dude, I
And
think old
anybody
guys don't
who's good
trade.
is charging crazy amounts of money, so it's hard to put your 25% or whatever profit margin that you're at on top of them and sell that to a customer,
I
you
think
know?
like we run into like just crazy stuff. We'll do some new construction stuff and just be doing one aspect of a job. Like, I mean, these are we worked at a house. The way it works in that area is you buy the house for it was like 1 million, right? And then
Okay.
which is probably like, oh, that's a good price for your area. But anyways, around here, 1 million's like, oh, you're getting it, but it's not finished. Like it's just a drywall, and you start picking your stuff out, right?
Yeah.
So like you get to choose your elevator style, you get to choose your kitchen, this and that, right? So someone already paid 1 million, and then everyone comes in and just does these things like on the back end of these jobs.
Yeah.
Anyways, they have an island, and this island's probably 8 to 10 foot long, 2.5 inches out from the wall, like cabinets. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, where it's like you see it and it's like you kind of feel bad for some of these people, but a lot of that stuff where you get a ton of different people in the job and it's like who's the next guy that's going to get after it, and then it's like this isn't our problem, and by the time the homeowners get it, a lot of times it's like pretty ran through, people damage stuff. Like if we did a floor for a new construction, it's like the painter's going to come in and dent everything up, like unless they're actually careful, sliding
Yeah.
appliances, stuff like that, ruins floors. Like that's some of the stuff, like the new construction things we run into, and then just all your
Well, and
general.
that's why I have one sub, and it's been one sub I found over like a few years because, like you said, these guys damage stuff and like they just don't care. And so like it got to a point where I was like, well, I'll just tell these people they gotta wait, and we'll just end up doing it, because I've tried other people out. Yeah, like you said, a painter comes in and then gets shit all over my aluminum trim and everything. It doesn't clean it up and everything, and then yeah, it just yeah, nobody really has a care. Even though new construction is the easiest, and it's the easiest to get protection down and make sure everything stays nice, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, it was like a horror story. We worked at this house on a lake, and we subbed some work for a builder, and he was like sneaking in and out of the house. He's like, he'd come in, he's like, is the homeowner here? We're like, dude, no, what's going on here? So he was all like worried and stuff. Anyways, we do this job, and they were like, oh, we had a water problem on the side. Like they did not properly waterproof this addition. Like they redid this whole house and made it. Um, I think it was like 4,000 square foot for maybe 1,000 square foot house. Anyways,
Wow.
so this their house was below the neighbor's house, and all the water would come over the side. So, anyways, we do this whole lower area, like cabinets, all that, drywall's all done. It rained. It got a little water before all this stuff was done. He's like, "Oh, we had them come in there and they just they dug a little trench." Or like that was your fix for all this problem, right? Anyways, this it rains the next day, it floods the entire basement of this brand new house. Like, and this is like a huge update to this house, right? And he's just like, "Do you think we can just get away with this and that?" And it's like, dude, like you messed up. But he's like, "Oh, this is my last job. I'm done after this and that." It's like, man, you're like, there's no accountability, but just some of the crazy stuff you see, like working and going around. And it's like, if you're seeing a couple, how many are there really?
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's the thing with the large scale production is yeah, just keeping guys on their game. And it does, honestly, dude, it does, I think, really come down to the money. I think those new construction projects really stretch out their subcontractors and their contractors like really thin because they got net 30 payment terms. They got like all these other terms. And I really think that also holds back the quality. You know what
Well,
I
that's like
mean?
the do you ever do work for city or government stuff or anything like that?
No, I don't do anything like that.
That's
No.
all. That's all the same way. Like you're fronting money, so we do that occasionally, and then it's like you're fronting the money. They want the invoice, and it's 30 days after they even get that. If whoever was in charge of it turns it in, so it's like everyone's stretched for money, and it's like whoever's fronting the job has to have every dime. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
I
dude,
don't
I
know.
know.
You're running this stuff, but yeah, I think it's awesome. Like with the shed thing, I did see that. Obviously, I haven't even been on to you for a minute. You know, pretty much since Sean came on and did the podcast, and I was looking at your stuff. Like that's the way to go. But yeah, I think for me, it's like we do a lot of jumping around, not like a decent variety. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like got a family to feed, got people to pay, bills to pay. So it's like I don't really turn too much down, and I'll end up doing something I say, I'm like, oh man, hopefully I don't have that again. And then it'll be 3 months and I'll be like, oh, you know what? I ain't scared of getting dirty, you know what I mean? Or just doing a little extra work.
Yeah, well, I still deal with it, man. Is like I did that bathroom because those clients were so cool and everything. But I rarely try to do anything out of Studio Shed because I have that system down so much. And then like two, another great client, she wanted her garage floor epoxied, so we did that. Of course, the epoxy order came in, the top coat wasn't with it. It just seems like there's more problems, you know what I mean? So I still deal with it. I have to really stay on it and be like, no, I'm only going to do these shed projects and stuff. And then probably next year, I'll probably only do HVAC because,
The same thing when the same thing when I went out, I'm like, dude, my daughter did the same thing. That's funny.
oh, you do.
Dude.
So you've got kids then.
Yeah, does my voice sound right without the AirPods? They don't work
Yeah, no,
now.
no, your voice sounds perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah, no, I
Okay,
got
so
kids.
where were we? Do you remember?
Oh, we were just talking about I don't know. It was like the sub thing, and then
I know it's all right. Well, perfect. You got kids. How many kids you got? You got one, two? What's
I got
the?
two kids. Yeah,
You
two
got
girls.
two kids. Okay, how old?
Uh, one and three. So
Oh, okay. You're not. I have four and two.
yeah,
Yeah, so you're not far behind me.
yep, it's a lot, man. Honestly, doing all the videos and whatnot too, trying to stay up on top of that, and home
Yeah.
life. It's never equal, regardless what you do. But you always want more
Well,
time with family.
I gotta say, I do have a question about the Instagram. So it seems like I was going through it, and it seems like in 2020 you were posting and everything. I don't know if the pandemic got in the way or something. Then it looks like you took a break and then started posting in 25 again.
Yeah, I just posted like pictures, so like that was just like business stuff. That was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
I was
exactly.
doing. honestly, everything moves so quick, but it was like back then it was like, what, you just posted pictures on Instagram and it was like, oh, cool picture, right? But
Yeah.
like things have definitely changed. And honestly, that was like the one of the main reasons I started this because I'm like, I'm not engaging with like customers the way I would think. And then even to come to find out the whole Facebook thing with like how it actually works. I was like, I'm gonna start posting some videos. And I was like, but I'm gonna post like, work stuff. I'm not gonna post like, oh, a picture. Because like I saw something and it was kind of talking about how like your Facebook page isn't a billboard. And I was like, that's a really good point because it's like no one goes on Facebook and wants to see you advertising your business as much as they might like a picture or something like that. But realistically, like I think people get more out of like, oh, look what they're doing. Oh, he's giving me something, showing me something, and now in return, I'll use them because like honestly, that's out of the few I haven't been doing the videos and stuff too long, but even out of the few things I've gotten from that, it's like, hey, I didn't even know you do this. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, because people don't see it. Like if you actually looked at how many views you got on Facebook, let's say, and it was like it's getting like 600. I was like, 600 is probably like my immediate people that know me. You know what I mean? So it's like to actually that was my initial thing was just trying to get out there for business reasons. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's not that business was slow or anything. You just, you're always trying. At least for me, like I felt like I've always wanted to try to, you know, do better.
Yeah, I mean, what really flipped me for my business was, like I said, I did get with the sheds. That's one, but two, I noticed that nobody, again, they're nationwide, dude. They have installers everywhere. Like I'm one of six in the Bay Area, right? So there's like a lot of demand here. But like I never saw anything on YouTube. I never saw anything on Instagram. Like very, very little. Like only one other guy had some stuff, but it wasn't pushed very much. And so I like hammered on social media, and that's like really what flipped my business. Once I started doing that,
What do you
I
mean
was
by
engaging
hammered?
with customers and stuff. And what I see now too is like a potential client will start watching my stories. They'll watch it for like a week, 2 weeks, a month. And then all of a sudden I got a site visit and it's the same name that was watching my Instagram that time. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, so
so
you're
it's like
connecting that.
they're already thinking about it, but then they finally see you, they go through all your stories, they watch you for a bit, they go through all your posts, and then that finally triggers them to like make the sale because just contractors these days aren't trustworthy. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah,
not perfect, but at least I'm going to tell you, hey, it's going to be a while or this or that or whatever. At least I'm
yeah,
honest
being
about shit.
transparent for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's like, unfortunately, I think it's most contractors are pretty solid. Then you get those few that get the real bad name for everyone, really, and then you have the other people that, and it's just the truth with this, and I'm sure you can testify to like it's not easy to do good and be on time and all that. Like to even make a good business out of it, like to be even reasonably somewhat profitable, I feel like you have to be on top of your stuff. I mean, it doesn't just happen, that's
There
for sure.
really are no days off, man. Like once you take a day off or you like lax out a bit, like it just seems like you fall behind. You know what I mean? And then it's just
Yeah.
like it's even worse. Yeah,
Does this thing
100%.
say does this say Jessica on it on
Yeah,
yours?
it does say Jessica. I was wondering, it
It
was
didn't
like
let me switch
Jessica is
it.
waiting to come back in. I was like, Jessica. I was like, I'm gonna assume it's him, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it didn't let me mess with it. I know I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, whatever. It don't matter.
that's
But
right. Your new name is Jessica now, so you got to
yeah,
change it on Instagram and everything.
I should. I'd probably get less
Hey,
less people
that's
bothering me.
typical out where I am. You know what I mean? A guy's named Jessica.
Oh
I'm in
yeah, I can
California,
imagine.
so
Jeez.
like, dude, I've done work on Castro Street. Like I said, I'm in the middle of it, man. San Francisco, everything, like the gayest of the
Yeah,
gay.
yeah.
Yeah, the
And you're
whole
like what
thing.
from the country area, right?
What'd you say?
You're like more out like country area for there,
No, dude, I'm
right?
from Marin County, dude. I'm fucking where Gavin Newsom lives and shit. Like I'm in fucking
Oh, really?
I'm a rich snobby motherfucker, dude. I'll tell you that. Yeah, dude, I
Good for
drink
you.
wine, I like good alcohol, good food, and I go
Yeah,
to the
no, that's
city
right.
to go make money and play, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah,
But
that's
no, I mean
fun.
I hunt and shit and everything, but I don't know if I would say I'm very country, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like you like some things about it and don't do some of the others. But yeah, geez. I can't imagine like you were saying the tight space stuff. We did a job in it's called Dearborn around here, which you might see some stuff online about that area. But anyways, just on a busy road, parked nowhere, and I'm like a truck and trailer guy, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you use, but it's like, dude, trying to park a truck and trailer, it's like we pull up in the morning and it'd be kind of like how long am I gonna wait for this to work out before I just don't go? You know what I mean? because it's
Well,
like you'll do it hard.
and this is why I don't do work in San Francisco anymore, but I actually do have a trailer on the truck at all times. So I have either the dump trailer or I have my tool trailer, but I only have a 5x8 tool trailer.
Still,
If I had a 6x12, I would probably be able to pull it. Not that my truck can't pull it, but I could probably be able to make it work with the parking and stuff. But dude, sometimes like when I was working in Burlingame, which is like just a little bit of south of San Francisco, that neighborhood's pretty tight, man. So if I had a bigger trailer, it'd be really tough to find parking and everything. But with that 5x8 trailer, I'm still small enough. I can find parking pretty good. I can always get in driveways and stuff. And if I do, for some crazy reason, have a job in the city, I can just pretty much this is what you do in San Francisco if you're a contractor. You either park on the sidewalk or you literally park in the middle of the street, you put your hazards on, and you just fucking go to work. Like
no
literally,
shit.
that's how it is.
It'd be total
I've
around here.
yeah, it here's the thing, like everybody says like, "Oh, California, they're so strict, all this stuff." Yes and no. When it comes to like red tape, stupid shit, yes, but when it comes to everyday life, dude, like I tell people this all the time. If I were to commit a murder, it would either be in the middle of San Francisco or it would be in the middle of nowhere because both have the same amount of eyes on you, if that makes sense. Nobody cares what you do in San Francisco,
Right.
right? As long as you're not bothering them in some way, they will let you get away with like any fucking crime you want. They'll just look the other way,
Yeah,
you
just I don't
know?
have that big city like I mean we live by Detroit, but no one really like goes there to hang out. It's not like I mean a handful of people,
Yeah,
but yeah,
so
it's not like that.
what's the economy around you and then like Detroit? Because there's kind of like two things I see. Like Detroit is dead, like you know, its heyday's gone. But then I do see some crazy projects from Detroit. I do see some
Yeah.
crazy homes and everything. And you guys aren't as big of money as us, but you guys are still pretty big money. You know what I
Think like
mean?
that Rochester Hills area, Plymouth was one of the richest at a time. And then
Yeah.
like up north, like Traverse City and those areas up there is like a lot of people have money in that way. But realistically, like we're in an area that's so built out. Like there's not a lot of new builds right here immediately. Like you got to go at least 20, 30 minutes a certain direction, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
not like a ton of stuff getting built new. If you go like west of Detroit, like there's like Canton area, those areas, there's a little more land that they're building new, but now it's kind of got to a point where that was new in 2000 and now they're all built out and it's just everything gets pushed further and like I'm sure where it's like now people are building stuff ADUs and stuff like that. Like we just did a whole ADU behind a house, and it's just like there's no space. I mean, and the space is expensive too. So it's like you're gonna buy another lot, or you just build in your backyard.
Yeah, dude. Maybe you should talk to Studio Shed and maybe get a market going in Detroit. Maybe you could
Yeah, and
figure
we
if you
already
guys are
do like
doing
a decent amount of
ADUs.
sheds.
Is the backyard office? All right. I do not know what you did to my daughter to make her so mad, but does not want this interview to happen.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways, we will continue. I was talking about, yeah, so are you guys like getting a lot of ADU projects in your area, like Detroit wise and everything?
We do like sheds for people, but as for actually building like housing behind someone's house, I haven't seen it too much. There's been a couple. I mean, at some point it's going to come, right? But at the same time, like I just, at least in our area right here, I don't think a lot of people have like a ton of money to fork out for that. You know what I mean?
Well, do you guys see a lot of tough sheds?
A decent amount. Like that's probably one of my like competitors. But like if somebody doesn't know we're doing sheds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, honestly, dude, too, again, I'm not part of it, but I know their installer program is actually pretty good. I talked to a guy who's doing my neighbors, and he was telling me he gets 2 grand for the install. He gets it done in a day. So I don't know if it's the same pricing up by you and stuff, but
I
yeah,
would think
I've just found it. It's better
not.
to like install for these like bigger companies because they just have the product and they just have
You
the
know, do you say
marketing.
that? Do you say that because you're a dude to get it done? You know what I mean? And I always feel like that.
Yeah.
Are you more? You're probably more of a get it done guy than a sales guy. And I find myself there too, where it's
Oh
like
no, dude, I'm a fucking sales guy, bro.
you're the sales
That's
guy.
why I do well, dude, because I fucking sell these motherfuckers, dude. These other like guys who don't do as many as me and stuff,
They really do kill sales.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? No, I'm a 100% a sales guy. I mean,
yeah,
I
maybe.
get it done too, but no, I'm more of a sales guy. Like that probably will be what I actually end up in later in life. I probably stop doing construction and only do sales.
So yeah, I mean, like I feel that too, where it's like realistically, there's not a lot of quotes I go to. Not to say that you don't get turned down like price wise, obviously,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
the ones where you feel pretty confident. It's like there's not been but a handful of times where like, oh, we decided to go with X contractor, not you. You know what I mean? Which in the other case of that, it's like I feel like I do good for getting the sales, but just in my mind of like completely, I don't know. You get to a point, and I'm sure as you get older, it's like you're not the cream of the crop anymore for doing things, and it gets harder obviously on your body. But yeah, just for like getting stuff done, it's like in my mind, I'm like that's how my dad is. Like he's like I'm gonna go get the job done. You know what I mean? And it just kind of gets ingrained in you, and it's like I don't know if it's how you're raised or something like that, but it's like I feel like you either got the business in you or you have the hard like I want to work hard and see it get done. Like I said, everyone wants both sides of it, but it's like what side you lean. I feel like there's a lot of guys like they're kind of like me with that, where it's like you get into it and people want you to do it, but it gets kind of hard because it's like you're doing it. It's hard to find people to help you do it, and then it's like I want to be there at 6 in the morning. Everyone else wants to be there at 9:30, 10. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
that's like whether you go on that that slope of like okay, I'm gonna get there later, and then it's like okay, but I don't want to work till 7 at night. You know what I mean? Like it's just some of those things where it's like I feel like it's I know at least personally a handful of guys that are like that where they're like work by themselves, want to get it done, but can't do the business stuff. I know guys that can't even get on the computer and figure out how to like send a decent invoice or do a drawing for like I'll do drawings on SketchUp and stuff for people's projects and stuff. But like even something not to say that's basic, but like it's not that hard.
Yeah, no, exactly. But again, it's like, yeah, it's tough to start incorporating that and do everything and be all under one hat. You really do have to have a crew, and like it starts becoming you're more of a CEO than you are a carpenter or
So are
something. You know
you
what I mean?
are you ordering the materials and stuff, or you're getting a full package? Because it's like even to put a
Full
quote together.
package. The only thing I pick up is like extras, and then like I pick up the drywall because we want it fresh. You know what I mean? It's like if
Yeah,
it travels from Colorado on a truck, the drywall is gonna probably be all screwed up. So
yeah,
we get that right then, but and then the roofing felt, but everything else comes: the walls, the insulation, all the electrical package, the tin, everything.
yeah. The only thing maybe around here, saunas and golf simulators. I feel like I've gotten some requests for sure. That and
Really?
pickleball courts. People want to get a
Yeah,
pickleball court, and it's like,
dude. Yeah, no,
how
I
much
get a
it'll
lot.
cost? You'd be like, dude, that's like 30 grand or more. Especially if it's just a single. You want to fend like I've quoted a couple, and it's just like this isn't even realistic for someone to really spend that to put in their backyard. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and the saunas are big too. Doing the saunas, I get a lot of requests for that. The one we're doing in Nevada, that one, they added an outdoor shower and a sauna to that one. So we'll
Yeah,
be
that
doing
outdoor
that.
shower's cool.
Yeah, they seem to be like the next craze. I thought it had like kind of already happened. The Joe Rogan types and everything, cold plunging and all that stuff, but
Oh
now it
yeah,
seems
yeah,
like it's actually like going way more mainstream, and a lot more percentages of just kind of regular homeowners are getting the saunas and the cold plunge and the outdoor shower setups.
yeah,
So that's happening.
yeah. I know. It's like it seems like I mean, I guess it's cool. I think we're supposed to be doing a sauna in this basement that we're doing right now. At least that's his
Hmm.
plan. We ran the electrical for it and stuff, but I'm assuming it's going to be like once the project's done, and if he's got money for it, he's going to let it go, or maybe wait another year or something. But that's his plan to throw one down there, and they do some like prefab saunas too that are pretty nice. They don't go all the way to the ceiling, so it's kind of like you get a retrofit, and then you got this like
Yeah.
weird space above it. But I don't know. I hope to plan to build it in, but at the same time, if it's like all this like pre-built stuff, so much cheaper, and it's like when you go up to a customer and it's like, hey, we're gonna build this by hand for 10 grand, or we can do 5 grand and just order it and put it together for $1,000 or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean,
and
again,
even
like
for the housing,
the sheds are a little bit higher end pricing, and stuff like that. Like that 10 by 10, just the shell was like 15K.
like
Um,
from them.
yeah,
So
so
you're at what, like
the whole project is more like
30?
30 or 40,000.
Yeah, that's
Like 10
crazy.
by 12s land around like 50 to 60K with HVAC systems.
But you got all the glass and stuff too. Like
Yeah.
we'll do like a basic, I call it a house looking shed per se, like maybe what would I call it? Like a garden shed. Like people
Yeah.
like that a lot, I guess. But yeah, something more like a garden shed or something like that. 10 by 12, somewhere in that range ends up costing, like around 12 to 15 with
Yeah.
concrete, and usually takes like under a week with concrete, like dig up and everything like that.
Well, and
That's
that's
like,
a
nice finishes. That's not like doing T111 or doing any of that stuff. That's like
yeah.
doing the siding or, whatever their choices are.
Well, and that's the thing is like the way they have it is at least for my area. So like when I first started, I was like, man, could I just price this out myself and like steal this design or whatever? But I priced it out. Like, dude, they buy so much zip system. They buy so many 2x4s. They buy so much flashing and like tin that their material prices are 2 times less than what I would have to buy as like a
That much,
regular
huh?
wholesale. Oh yeah, dude. They
Yeah, I
buy
mean, like
they
that looks
buy
like expensive.
train loads of zip system. Dude, last time I talked to them, they do 10 to 12 of the 10 by 12s a day at the factory, plus the bigger ADUs. Like they go up to 1,000 square feet, and now they have 2-story model, and now we just came out with like resort condo models. So like if someone wants to build a hotel, like there's a 2-story like 4 unit that we could put at like 12 different sites or however big the space was. So like their factory is pumping out crazy amounts. I mean, it's going all over the US, you know what I
Yeah, I'm
mean?
seeing stuff like that. I was honestly for we have a cottage up in northern Michigan, and that's like kind of the thing. Like it used to be, there was a big push for all these small cabins that everyone built that were like, insane how terribly done. But it was like you'd take your
Yeah.
family up there and you build a whole cabin. You know what I mean? And it's like you see some of the stuff like the footings are a huge rock. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
crazy
dude.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
something like that, like up there, and it's getting a lot more modern. But I was like, because no one has time to be up there and spend a year on a project unless someone's got crazy money, you want to do
You
something
gotta have a lot
huge,
of
and
money.
there's only a handful of people. So it's like if you get in and do something in 3 to 4 months, pretty well, like something like that is probably huge for more rural areas. Honestly, you kind of think about like tighter spaces for it, but at the same time, like a lot of people up there, you're outside. You don't go up there to sit inside. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, that's kind of
100%.
something to consider.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of with us. Like, we have this thing called Tahoe. That's a big ski one. Pretty much everybody with a lot of money has like developed that vacation wise. And there's a few other spots, but it is the same thing. It's like, unless what a lot of people do is as they live here in the Bay Area, they have someplace somewhere else in rural California, and they build that throughout their life, and then they retire out there.
Yeah.
And they leave the kind of like more populated, but so like their projects are slower built and everything. But it seems like there is kind of a reinsurgence of people building cabins and like vacations, and people are getting to family ages now, and the population is kind of dying off, so that the age is changing. Because
Yeah.
dude, I remember my grandparents, man, they had like a little cabin, and they built like a little cabin for themselves in their 30s and stuff when they had my mother. So it's like a cycle of evolution, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That was kind of the thing. And I mean, I guess it's kind of coming back, like people trying to do their own thing, depending on how
Yeah.
streamlined that gets.
Well, what
Like,
are you gonna do? Spend all this money in the city, or are you gonna just try to huff it and at least build something of your own out in the sticks? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. That is interesting. I know I always like debate on which, honestly, like my long term goal is to like get away from not consumer based things, but having a direct customer. Because I feel like we spend a lot of time, it's gotten harder, especially since COVID. I think people really struggle with between decision making and then like having people in their house. What's the situations? And that was another big thing with the bathroom. It's like you're walking past, old person's bedroom, and they don't even watch you through their bedroom. You know what I mean? Younger people are
Yeah.
usually a little more relaxed, but it's like I don't know if it's that people just don't want you in their like intimate spaces of their house, and then you're going back in there for 2 weeks. Someone doesn't have a bathroom to use. You know what I mean? And it's just like
That's not California. I don't know. It doesn't happen very much, dude. Like, dude, there'll be people like in bathrobes and like they'll be fine with it.
Oh,
We're
really?
very,
Yeah,
oh
around here
yeah,
it's
dude, we're
like
very bohemian,
don't
dude,
come
you
in
know?
until 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's like, okay,
Yeah. I
I've
mean,
had customers where it was like,
we get them once in a while and stuff, but everybody's pretty, but I'm also very upfront about that too. It's like, hey, we're gonna be coming through here, like and stuff. Like when I do those sheds, I tell them like, hey, when we do concrete, it's gonna look like a war zone. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Until it's all poured and we clean up and but again, that's why I like those things because you're not going into people's houses
yeah.
and stuff. And
Do you ever
you know,
find
every
yourself?
time I was doing that tile job, every time I got in the house, because they have a very nice house. You know, they have fucking great hardwood floors, all that stuff. So every time I walk in that house, I gotta have booties on or I gotta take my shoes off.
Yeah,
So it's
getting
like
thin
every
set
time
and
I gotta
shit.
go cut a tile, every time, you know what I mean?
Dude, we'll be
And
doing stuff like throwing out the window, like what can we do in the toilet? Like it's just like, and then it's what one person fits in there, maybe two, and then everyone's
yeah.
sweaty. It's like if you're if your guy you're working with is not wearing deodorant, you're just like, dude, like we got to figure something out here, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
luckily
terrible,
my
dude.
nose doesn't work very well, so that's actually helped me out a lot.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, I
So
don't
yeah,
know about that.
what is your future plan? What does it look like in 5, 10 years? Like what are you working towards?
I'm gonna say, you know, 5 years and it'll be 20 years before it works out like
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
I'd like to start building houses. Like we do pretty much all the different aspects of a house. You know, really, other than I think we do concrete work, but we don't do foundation stuff. So that would just be like a sub out thing. But even like every builder, like you're subbing out portions of the work, and at the same time, you can't really do it all yourself. But my hopes is at least at the time, like saving up to do just built by me stuff and then sell it. So I'm not dealing with all that because I honestly, in my at least through book wise and time spent with customers and stuff like that, I feel like you're spending maybe over 20% of your like time and resource just on customer, like acquiring a customer and the time you got to spend with them and keeping them happy. And then at the end of the job, unfortunately, collecting, which is like, I'm sure anyone that watches this or does this knows what it's like forking out all your money and then someone being like, I'll get you next week. It's like, okay, like we won't eat. You know what I mean?
Well,
So it's just
again,
one of
dude, a
those
lot
things.
of people wonder why I stack so many jobs, and that's the exact reason. It's like because I'd run into stuff like that, and it's not enough. It's not long enough to sue them or anything or lien them. And it is what it is, and you're cool about it, and they still love you and have you do other stuff. But it does put a hampering on finances. And so for me, I was like, okay, I just need money. I need my goal every day pretty much, and I get pretty close to it. I go, I need a check every day. I need a check coming from somewhere every day, progress payment, new deposit, whatever. Every single day there needs to be a check in so
Yeah,
that
that's
everybody stays
ambitious.
paid and everything. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much what happens. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, that's solid then, honestly. Yeah, mine's like you know, weeks sometimes. But it's
yeah.
like it's just I don't know if it's the culture in the area or people like I'm just not the person to really want to hound people, and that's what it turns into. It helps too now with like the internet stuff. You get like program that automatically sends reminders, but it'll be like, all right, it's been a week, all right, it's been 2 weeks, and honestly, like I've only ran into a handful of people, and seemingly like the people closer to you that end up not paying or taking the longest time, and it's just one of those things where it's like, how do you at least for me as a person, it's like I'm paying someone right away. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
what you do is you front load all your payments, and the last payment's like 500 to $1,000 max. And so the whole thing is you are holding work over their head the entire time because when the project is going, those payments are always on time, right? But when you're finished and you don't have something holding over their head, like the next stage or something, that's when they delay.
yeah, so like I don't even get that. Like it's just maybe it's the culture's different or something in this area. I don't feel
Okay.
like a lot of people get that sort of response from people, and like I think that it's like, all right, you got all these jobs lined up. I get yours. You can probably move. If you're getting them done in let's say a week, right? It's probably something like that. Like your
Well, so
full
that
project.
10 by 10, that shell was done in 2 days.
Yeah,
It,
so it's like okay, we'll go to the next one, right?
yeah.
So like for us, it's like okay, we got all of our tools in your basement, your kitchen, your bathroom. We're doing your deck. Half the stuff's there. We're doing a shed. It's half done. Oh, no payment. Okay. Well, we're gonna go take all these tools. We're gonna leave. We're gonna start
That's
another
the
project.
reason for the trailer. They all stay in the trailer 24/7. So I can go from any job to any job no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, every
But
day
I
or every
agree with what
school.
you're saying. Like,
Yeah,
because
it's
I
just
used
like
to
I'm
have a
ready to pull
job
out.
box.
Yeah.
I used
You
to
know what
leave
I
a
mean?
job box there, big old job box, would take all day to get it there, put all the tools in it, all that stuff, and then we were stuck on that project, you know?
Yeah, so you feel like you're just a little more stiff on that. I feel like, and then I'll be completely honest with myself where it's like, I know I do really great work and we like as a team do really great work. But on the other side of like hey, it's time to get the money stuff, it's like the passion for doing sometimes gets in my head more than the passion for like, hey dude, it's time to like pay this. Which,
Oh, yeah,
I used to be
100%.
bigger on it and I used to care a lot more and it's so stressful. Like honestly, it's like it takes a certain person to be like on top of all your things. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to have it ready. Like if you want to go work for the day, and that's how it usually is for me. Where it's like it's 4:30 in the morning. All right, I'm going to get on the computer for 2 hours. So I'm going to send all these things out, make sure they're in line, and then you miss one day. The next day you might have 3 hours, 4 hours. Now you got to go do a quote at 6. Like how many hours can you work as a person and still get to the job? So it's like it's the like do you have the people in place kind of situation. And like you're saying with the subs and stuff like that, that's really a great route to go with it. I found myself just more having a hard time to get the right people in place. And even when you do, it
No,
seems
I
to be
mean, like I
like,
said, I actually don't think it's a great route. I've only found one guy in how many years? You know what I mean? It's tough to work with people. It's tough to get on pay schedules, especially with those sheds. I'm at net 14 pay. So the sub's got to be good with me. I don't pay out until we get the wire. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So that's one tough part. Everybody wants to get paid right away, just like me, but it never happens. And then, yeah, and then also the hiring route is tough. There really is nowhere to turn, essentially. Like I said, if you have a good sub, he is at such a premium that you got to have him at on such a high end job that makes sense for you to put your markup on him.
And you're in your 30s, right?
I'm 30, yeah.
30, yeah. So like, I don't feel like I don't know anyone that's my age or was my age when I was starting and stuff that is in the same shoes that has figured it out in that route. And I feel like I've worked hard at all of it and stuff. And it's like, is it what's in your head and how you think it is, or is it just the case? Like the construction stuff, I know like HVAC and some of these other like one specific thing. People go to school and get an HVAC license. I can go hire people to do HVAC or electrical or plumbing, right? How do you hire someone to go do a bathroom? Like you don't go to bathroom school. You don't go to
Yeah.
basement and kitchen school. You can go get your carpenter's license, but at the same time, they don't teach you nothing, just like the welding thing I'm talking about, where it's like you got to find these people that know what they're doing. And if they do, no, they deserve, well over $100,000 for their work a year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, and that's like the base rate. Like that's where, in our area, it's like it's 80. If you want someone that's going to show up every day and have a couple tools and do a good job, you know what I mean?
No, 100%. Yeah. No, the price is up there and yeah, it's going to be tough. It's a catch 22, man. You're going to have all this work and everything's going to be fine, but you're also going to be leaving all this money on the table because you have no labor to fill that demand.
Yeah, and I don't know where, like I said, there's not like you hear it, and I'm not like one to hear something and just believe it, right? Like, oh, there's no one working. It's like there's people
Yeah.
working, right? But it's like I don't know anyone I graduated with other than maybe one guy that's like he's a carpenter. You know what I mean?
The
And it's
high
like where are
school,
these people
my
at?
high school graduating class maybe has five tradespeople that I
Out of
know
how
of.
many you graduate? I like 300.
500. I had a class of
Yeah,
like 500.
yeah. So there's a couple, like I said, for us, and I mean he's not even in my graduated class, the guy I'm thinking of, but yeah, I don't know. Like people definitely got into different things, and it's like the price will go up, the demand will go up, and then the quality will have to go down to keep up with it from what it seems like as an overall standpoint. So I don't know how like all that's going to get figured. I would love to find some people that like I hired a guy and nicest guy ever, on time every single day, never late. He could not do a single thing. Like one of my videos is him like back. He doesn't work for me anymore, but one of my videos is him like back in the trailer up. There's like 20 cars waiting for him, like to back up and stuff. And it's like that was probably the best thing he was at doing is driving the truck and trailer. And like I said, super great guy. But it's just like the tools just weren't working for him. And it's like it sucks because it's like he was there every day. Like it was like you can't find that. Like that's almost the hardest thing to get is someone who shows up. And usually someone who tends to be good isn't there on time. It just is how it seems.
Well, yeah, I honestly I don't know if it'll be fixed. I think there's going to be a big gap. Like I said, probably like in a year or two. Even though these sheds do well for me, I'm probably going to be HVAC only. I do way better on the HVAC side, and I can just do it myself. Stack a bunch of money and then like retire early. But that's what's going to force guys to do. People who are talented are going to find their niche that they can do by
It's HVAC.
themselves or very lean, or you're gonna work for a big ass company.
I think
You
that's
might be
probably what.
high up in that company, you know what I mean, and still make good money, but it's gonna be big players and chucks and trucks, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I already seen it in our area. There's a couple bigger companies, and then they're owned by even bigger companies,
Yes.
and then it's like they're hiring out people. I think that's the new like big play is getting residential people. I think the biggest thing is there's no school, there's no training. It's like go figure it out yourself. Then when you do that, you get treated terrible. Everyone's expectations are through the roof. Like I post stuff online, and it's like it's not. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple things that maybe you're doing wrong, this and that. Like anyone that posts stuff online, but it's like everyone sees everything and everything's wrong. And it's like if that's just how it is, like in people's houses, you do one wrong thing and someone's like, I've been asked questions like, I saw something online. And it's like, who said that? Like, where are you getting this from? And then you're over here trying to prove yourself on why you're right in someone's house that you're working for them. It's like, where is this going? Because it's like there's so much misinformation, and then you get all these people that get like, okay, what's actually right and what's actually wrong? Like, and posting stuff online, you see stuff and it's like, dude, like, there's some good, intelligent people, and they post them like, oh yeah, that's like a really good point. And I'll post stuff just to get answers, like why do people do this? You know what I mean? And it's like, do get 100 answers, and some of them will be like, dude, like that's not even close. You know what I mean? But some people just think certain ways. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a problem in this trade is inconsistency. Um, you ask a question to three different people, you get three different answers.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, but again, that also differentiates you because at least for me, like when I'm talking to somebody about a project or something, I explain to them how I do it and why I do it. Like me and windows, like window flashing, I go pretty overboard, right? Like compared to what most guys do, but like I will tell if it's a being a if it's a wrapped system, right? If it's a zip system thing, it's pretty
yeah,
simple. You do your caulking, liquid flash on all your sills and stuff, put your window in, and then put your zip tape, and then you're done and stuff. But for like when we did the paper, a lot of people will put on paper first, right? Before they put the window in. Okay. They'll put the Tyvek on, right? If you put your Tyvek on before you put your window in, you even if you caulk your window flange, that water still, if any pinhole is in that caulking, that water is going to follow that Tyvek right into your window opening, right?
yeah,
And so I never wrap a house before I put windows in. I always put windows, doors first, then wrap the house. And people look at me like I'm fucking crazy. But what I do is I take the flashing tape, we flash it all, the window openings, caulk the window flanges, then put the windows in, then put the paper on, and then tape it again around the window flanges, leaving the bottom open. That's like three different fucking layers. Rarely anybody waterproofs that way that I talk to.
right. I
But
think
I do that all the time. I've never, ever had a fucking window leak. And I never, ever will have a window leak. I have three layers of fucking protection on there.
like the longevity stuff too, though. It's like how much does all that last? Like all the tapes and even the caulks and sealants. So then like the way it's flashed in general.
Exactly. That's why
Yeah.
you got to have layers
So
of protection because it will fail.
yeah, and that's even like not to knock like a lot of the waterproofing for showers and stuff like that, but it's like one little failure is everything. But I think like the big thing for even just building in general, that having good overhangs on everything. You know what I mean? Because it's like I see some of this like salt. I think I'd call it a salt box, right? Construction where it's like no overhangs,
Yep.
and it's like I can't imagine how soaked everything is getting. And it's like, yeah, like if you do it right, it's good for, is it 20 years? Is it 30? Is it 50? You know what I mean? It's like my house right here, it's 100 years old. You know what I mean? It's like everyone around here's house is almost 100 years old. And it's like, what does all your things look like? So say you use these products and it's like, you really got to count on, I think you got to count on the whole situation in its own. Like this shouldn't be getting wet. Like your windows shouldn't be getting absolutely pounded by water all the time, regardless. So it's like you can flash however you want. And it's like if you're getting enough water for long enough, it's going to get wet. Or it's going to have some sort of moisture, wicking, humidity, and then it sticks in there. Like there's so many things that really can happen.
Well, and that's the other thing right now. The big building science is being completely airtight, which I don't like. Like I live in 100-year-old house, right? This thing's never been insulated. It's never been airtight. But I remodeled this whole thing, all new electric, all new plumbing. I've been in every single cavity of this fucking house. And granted, a little bit around the windows, but mostly it was all trim. It was never structural. I've never found a thing of dry rot in this house, right?
Yeah.
The reason is because it can dry out every single summer, right?
Yeah.
It's stucco construction, the stucco breeze, it's porous. Any water got in there during the wintertime, it's going to be all dried out by the time summer starts, right? And that's why it's lasted so long. I mean, everything else in this house, a fucking nightmare. The electrical, go ahead.
Is it slats? Do you have like slats for sheathing or is it plywood?
It's just slats, exactly.
Yeah, so like that's
no. This was built
like
in 1920.
Like any engineered product, if it gets wet and dry, it's not like the older stuff where it's like you will get rot, but like a lot faster. If you have like OSB or something like that, it really doesn't hold up. I mean, we see it on roofs all the time where it's like a valley will just be gone. You'll step in and it's like oh dang, like good thing that was not the whole roof, but we run into some.
Well, dude, and that's the only reason, the only OSB style like product I'll use is Zip System. I have no fucking clue what's in there, but one time
it's good.
I cut a piece of Zip System, I cut a piece of plywood, and I put it in a bucket of water for a week, a 5-gallon bucket of water. I remeasured it after all this stuff. The Zip System didn't even fucking expand.
Yeah, I have video. I did. Well, I didn't. I try to stay away from the branded stuff for reasons. But
I only did it because that's what's on the studio sheds, right? That's the product that comes in, and so I was just curious how it worked, right? And now if I did like a full build house, I would probably do it in Zip. There's a few things you gotta watch, but I would do it in Zip probably. But I put it in there, dude. It didn't expand anything. No. I have no clue what wax and resin they put in there. I'm sure I'll get fucking cancer because of it. But your house, I mean, dude, if the CDX that I put in there for a week, that shit was delaminated. It expanded over an inch. You know what I mean? Like you could see the problems, but the Zip System, man, it just repelled that water.
Yeah, I did like a test where I did the OSB and the plywood, because everyone was like, "Oh, plywood's better." I'm like, "Dude, they're all wood." And just to myself, and I soaked them both, and I'm pretty sure the plywood expanded more than the OSB did.
Well, so here's the thing with plywood out here, and why it's better, and why we're required to use the CDX is because we have earthquakes, and most of our walls are shear walls.
Yeah,
so the OSB does not have the same shear strength as the CDX laminated, and that's why Zip System's good, because it is structural, except the R. The Zip R isn't structural, but that's why too. Like any patches I'll do it in Zip System, because at least it has a little bit of waterproofing and it still has the shear strength. But that's why we have to use CDX out here.
Yeah, I'm just curious what the next obviously it's super good. I have a LP smart. It's smart side, but I did my kids' playhouse thing in it, and the door on the inside is just the raw. It's been like 2 or 3 years, and it's just been getting rained on and stuff. It's just looks a little different. It's still fine, which is crazy. But I think, and that's actually a different point, is like decks, right? So we do a bunch of decks, and the joists are always terrible. You can't find the good wood. I think like a couple people I see online find this. I don't know where they're getting it from, but like this seemingly high quality pressure treated. But anyways, like the new PWT is doing they're doing the pressure treated laminated joists. And I think honestly, I personally think that that's going to be the new I think people are going to be
Oh yeah,
framing
dude,
themselves
everything's
with
gonna be
it.
engineered products, dude. I mean,
Yeah, I don't
half
think
the
we're gonna have regular wood, and I don't think in 10 years,
yeah.
I think it's gonna be pushed so hard, and it's like between the sustainability and then if they can just mulch all the wood up and get what they need out of it, it's like they don't let these trees grow. They're not 30-year-old trees that they're cutting. At least I don't think. I mean, I
No,
might
dude,
have
you
to.
look down a 2x4 and you can see half the fucking rings that were in the tree in your
Oh
two
yeah, I
by
know.
four. You know what I mean? Like, so they probably maybe got one 2x4 out of the thing.
Yeah,
And no, I agree. Like, so in Studio Shed, in the middle, the main studs are still regular Doug fir, but all our headers, all our king studs, and everything are these engineered like kind of LVLs and stranded 2x4s.
what about your plates?
All our plates are the stranded 2x4s, and they've
Yeah,
got the pressure
yeah, and
treat in them.
I feel like it's gonna just go. The only thing I haven't seen is like how
But
is
here's
that?
the thing, dude. Those things stay straighter than a
Oh,
Doug fir 2x4 in the lumber yard.
yeah,
So
for sure.
it is, and they take more weight.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I think that's just the way it's going to go. I'm just curious,
Yeah.
like, what it's going to look like for because you're going to be building when you're 60. You know what I mean? Like, what's 30 years? A lot of these older guys don't.
No,
They don't have to
don't
worry
wish
about
that upon me.
it. Well, you'll be doing something probably around that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
actually, I say that, but then here I am, like, you know, shaking my ass on Facebook and
Yeah,
Instagram and
yeah.
stuff. Like, you just don't know how life goes.
Oh, so an
No.
OnlyFans is in the future here, actually. No, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you just never know how it goes. But anyways, the way at least I plan to go, it's like what materials are we gonna be using, and then it's gonna be like I'm gonna be the old dude commenting on people's posts like we never did it like that before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like yeah, it's changed, but it's gonna happen. I'm just curious which direction. I think that's the direction. And like I was saying with the joists, like you can get laser straight joists that can hold more weight that aren't all twisted. Like you do some of this stuff, and it's like you can try your best, and it's like this is garbage, and then it
Well, and
shrinks.
then like
Like you couldn't tell me how much.
Owens Corning has this lumber. I've been watching John Dawson or whatever, and he's been using it a bunch. But now all of that is like it's like a synthetic
Yeah,
composite. But dude, it's all finish. And so you do your structural, and your structural is your fascia.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And so like everything's gonna be moving to this more synthetic stuff and everything.
yeah. Like how's it gonna look though? And then like, have you seen the decks that are like resin infused wood, and then it still looks
Oh
like
yeah.
wood? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Like that looks good. I think it. All right, so like my dad's been doing floors since I was a kid, right? And it was like
Yep.
sheet vinyl, and then now it's vinyl plank or it was vinyl tile kind of, but for a while and now it's vinyl planks that click together, and it's just like honestly, I walk in a floor and if it's vinyl, I'm just like, oh my god, like it's another fake floor. Like that's what I love when
The
we do
only
wood.
I have it in my house, but here's the reason why is because I have kids. That shit is so strong
Dude,
to
I have
kids.
kids. I flooded my entire kitchen. Here's all hardwood. My daughter left the sink on it. We had an inch of water in here. It's fine.
Yep.
And it's like people think like hardwood. It's like it's gonna get ruined if you get like a glossy, one finish. Like if you get something with some texture and you're like, I'm gonna get some dents in this, some scratches, and you're happy with living with it. Unless you let water sit for a long time, it doesn't get ruined like that. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
can and stuff, but it's like you got to be gone on vacation. It's always someone's dishwasher leaked when they're on vacation. Now half their floor is bubbled, but we run into people that like they they've had their dishwasher leak. They're like, my whole floor's peaked. 2 weeks later, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It expands and contracts like anything, but obviously you're not supposed to get it wet. But I'm a big like if you get wood and you dent it up and stuff, like it's character. If you get something that has like a character grade, I think it goes with it. But if you have like one of those super straight, clean, modern houses, maybe not so much, or just don't have kids or dogs because
You know, 100%. Yeah, yeah.
even the vine.
If you got kids and dogs, man, you can't really have nice shit
Yeah.
for a while. You know?
Yeah, I know. I was like, man, maybe we'll move this and that. And then we have the kids, we have the dogs. I'm like, dude, like, I'm gonna wait. Like, why? This is just all. It's like you get a lease on your house, but you own it because it's like you might as well leave what you got there until you're
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
that stage at least.
Yep. No, 100%.
Markers on the countertop, all that like good stuff. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, everything's kind of wrapping up and stuff, but I do always pose this one question to everybody because this is the whole reason why I do these things is, for people coming in can listen and stuff. So again, we talked about the young guys, like they are going to have to be the ones that step up. I don't know necessarily if the numbers will be there, but they will be the ones stepping up. What's your advice to those young guys, people coming in? all that stuff. Even if they're like middle life, but just anybody starting in this trade, like what's your advice to them?
I would say like skip a lot of headaches and start by working with somebody who knows a lot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like you could sit here and want to do it all on your own, and the best thing you can have is a good mentor. At least have someone in your space that you're working with occasionally that, say you want to do things on your own. You got to learn from someone, and especially just starting, like you obviously have to be confident and stuff, but going and working for somebody that's reliable, someone who's been in business, like, hey, let me get a job, let me learn some things. Like everyone's going to be pretty accepting to that. I would say like just trying to go on your own without any sort of guidance. Like there's confidence issues, there's knowledge issues, obviously. And then what does it cost to get a truck, trailer, and tools, like stuff like that. And honestly, you might work for somebody that does a real good job and find yourself there for 10, 15 years and still be happy with it. You know what I mean? If you're trying to get in the trades, stuff like that. So that's just from my perspective. If you're going to go the other route and do it yourself, be ready to like learn. Like I've made so many mistakes. You know what I mean? Like that's what you learn by is oops. Like, but it's construction mistakes or
Expensive mistakes.
Yeah, they go by the thousands. Like without concrete, oh, that was $3,000. It's just like you learn to laugh off. Like I always make a joke, at least to my immediate friends and stuff, where it's like, oh, $1,000. Like, okay, no big deal. It's like I might not make $1,000 this week, but I just had to spend it on fixing something. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen all the time. You get like one a year or something where it's like, dang, like I'm an idiot, but that's life.
Well, I've got a saying at the lumber yard I say a lot. I say if you can't wake up and go to the lumber yard at 6 a.m. and spend $1,000 every morning, don't get into construction. Just don't do it. That's pretty much what you're doing.
It's like gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, or it's another really good thing. If you're going to do something in construction, just do one thing. Don't do everything.
Yeah.
It's like learn to do one thing really good, learn about other things and have a good idea to be aware, but like do that.
You got to be aware of I said in the beginning of this, you got to be aware of what the other trades have to deal with. But you don't necessarily have to learn the other trades.
No.
You know what I mean? But you got to have an understanding of what's going on.
Yeah. If you like staying on top of your finances and being able to say no, like, oh, not going to work this week because this isn't the right job for me. And that's like when you start, you're going to be like, oh, I need a job. I need to make some money. It's like, dude, this might cost you a month. Like,
yep.
Don't make don't make 2, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 grand this week. Might be more worth it because you might be stuck on that for a month. Like, I hear it all the time, like, oh, this one pays just even a minute ago. This one pays $6,000. It's like, does it pay $6,000 for 3 weeks of work? Like, just because the number up front looks good doesn't mean it's good if you're there for, a month. So, yeah, I don't know. There's definitely no lessons for doing stuff on your own. And I'm sure you know what it's about. So,
no, yeah, 100%. Well, thanks, dude. I appreciate it with all the interruptions and everything. Thanks for staying so cool.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you, man.
The first time that's happened, like I said, my daughter's got a problem with you or something. I don't know what it is.
Dude, I'm happy it wasn't me. I'm like, dude, like, do I have a minute to get away with the kids and the family? And then I'm like, right when the router thing went out, I'm like, oh, dude, it's me. I'm like, I'm scrambling around. Like,
dude, that's my new project is moving that router now. You know what I mean? It's like I said, dude, I mean, you're just kind of getting started. I'm just a little bit ahead of you, but you think those hardwood floors are okay right now, but wait until those kids get a little bit older. Dude, I swear to God, like they have the
dogs.
You got 200-pound dogs? Oh, okay.
Yeah, 100-pound dogs. Like,
okay.
I mean,
what dogs are they? Are they mutts or are they a certain breed?
Chesapeake Bay Retrievers.
Oh, okay. Do you hunt at all?
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Oh, okay. I've got a lab and coonhound mix. She's my hunting dog. She does duck, deer. We just went pheasant hunting. All that stuff. And I bought her from some backyard farmer, dude, out in Sacramento. Just some random dude. $200 dog. Best hunting dog I ever had. I had a purebred beagle that I paid like $1,200 for.
Terrible.
Bro, barely hunted, bro.
Yeah.
Like just by my side all the fucking time. Was more of a lap dog than a hunting dog, Yeah,
for sure. No, we do it like not as much now with the kids, but I mean big time for quite a while. So I don't get too much into that, how things are, but yeah, definitely like main hobby, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, it is what it is. you know.
Well, coolio, dude. Well, thanks for chatting and everything. Hopefully one day I'll get to go hunting with you or something, or maybe you'll come out here or something like
My
that. But
sister probably lives right next to you, so maybe I'll one day be out in that area.
where does she live, if you don't mind me asking?
It's San Diego, so then
Oh no, so I'm in
or
the San Francisco Bay
Bay.
Area, but I
How
am going to my
far?
buddy's bachelor party down in San Diego, so I will be down by her. My
How far of
in-laws
a
live
drive is
there.
that?
6 hours, but dude,
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was like 6. I thought it was
no,
like
no,
two
no,
or
no.
three.
Listen, dude, when you're in California, going down to SoCal, going down to San Diego is a fucking weekend thing. Like, dude, we would like out of high school, dude. We would go hop in the car on like a Friday night and like drive to Santa Barbara or something and go party with people and shit, and then go home on Sunday. It just is what it
Yeah,
is.
just like a quick trip. It's kind
And
of a
t-
minute. It's just
and
gonna be a
two, like I learned, so when I first got my learner's permit, I hopped in my grandparents' car and I drove all the way to New Mexico. So I've always like road tripped and stuff my whole life. And the longest is getting out of California. Like I've driven to Texas, all that stuff. I worked there during the pandemic. And driving out of California takes the longest. Getting through the rest of the country, dude, you just blow through states like no other.
yeah.
There's just so much mountains and stuff. So once you drive California your whole life, dude, driving's nothing. And two, so like I said, I'm in the Bay Area, but I'm in the North Bay. We've done jobs all the way down to Santa Cruz, which is like 110 miles. So I'll leave at like 4:30 in the morning. It'll take me about an hour, 45 minutes to get to Santa Cruz. Work all day till about like 6:30 or 7. Then you hop in the car and then you get home about like 8:39.
Dude, sleep in the car.
Shower, go to bed, do the same fucking thing again.
Yeah. We've done a couple, yeah, about that same time. That's as
Yeah.
much as I'm staying if it's past that. Like, there's no point in getting back up. I'll sleep in the truck or the trailer or figure something out, a couple beers and fall asleep or
See,
something.
that's the culture here. It's just commute culture, man. Like a 2 hour
That's
commute
crazy.
is typical for people.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, because people live in Vacaville or Sac, but work in San Francisco, or something, and
Like daily?
that's like 40, 50 miles,
So they're doing like an hour or some every day?
hour and a half, 2 hours, depends on traffic too. Like, dude, one time I was doing that Santa Cruz job, and there was just, I don't know if everybody was drinking or what, but there was just accidents the entire Bay Area. And it took me 3 hours and 45 minutes to get home.
Yeah. That's terrible, dude.
It was,
I'm
and
not
I just
driving
took
like
the
that.
next day off, dude. I got home at like 10 o'clock and I just emailed all the clients. It's like, I'm not showing up tomorrow. I'm
Dude, I'm
fucking
like
dead.
15, like 20, 30 minutes for a job. I'm like, I can find something closer.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
a lot of guys are like that and stuff. But again, that's what you have to do when you're starting. Like if like where I am now, it's only because I did all that work up front and like did all that sacrifice. You know what I mean? Now I can just like
Yeah.
sit back and be a little bit easier, but it's also an ego thing, dude. I hate saying no to jobs. I hate giving it to
Yep.
competition. You know what I mean? Like but I've always been that competitive guy. That's why I
Yeah, for
played
sure.
sports and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but all right,
Sweet.
dude. Well, good talking to you. Thanks
Yeah.
for having this. And, hopefully let's be out tomorrow or in the next few days. I'll
Yeah,
let you
whatever. You're
know.
good, man. I appreciate it. Nice talking to you.
All right, dude. Have a good night.
Later.